All right, so let's just talk about the many uses of portable, because don't forget, these are portable, right? Convenient, ready to eat. That's what an RTE is. I always like to call them foods for the 21st century living, because anybody that's controlling their weight, they all use stuff they always use bars. You know, the actors, the actresses we work with, athletes, they're using protein powders in between. They're using bars in between to keep their energy levels high and their calories in check all the way around. And guess what? It's faster than junk food. Because junk food, they call it fast food. Well, they still got to make it. You still got to carry it, you know, and all that. So this is faster than that. So what do we use them for? The many uses. A healthy snack, high protein, calorie controlled snack that can satisfy your appetite and your energy needs between meals. You can actually use them as a pre-post exercise activity. So if you can't take a powder, and like when I coached Pop Warner, I had all the kids had to bring an Apex bar back then, and they would eat that 30 minutes before practice, so they would make it through the entire practice without falling down in the last hour, all the time, and then immediately after to get their recovery time down. Parents always love that whole thing. So basically, training or venue, a convenient way of getting your necessary fast-acting protein and carbs to support your energy and recovery. Take advantage of those metabolic windows when powders are less convenient. Obviously, powders are better and faster, so we always like that when they're possible. But if not, bars easily solve that, and especially tournament play. So for those of you that have kids or clients with kids, sometimes and they're playing on club teams. They've got 3 or 4 games a day. Right here, you're just eating this between games, along with a little Gatorade, of course. And then also for weight control, whether it be weight control, whether it be muscle gain or body fat loss, you can use it in either direction. For those of you who don't know, our bars, every one of them meet the legal definition of a meal replacement. That way you can use it as necessary, but can also save calories as needed. So if you're going to have you're going to have a big event meal, it's Christmas, it's Thanksgiving, and you're going to eat 4,000 calories, you can actually save by using these up until that point and have enough left over where you won't gain a single pound no matter how much you eat. I got a little, I think I have it in this lecture. It's actually the one I just finished. So I got to make sure I don't know if it's in this one. That was all part about saving calories for the holiday season. And then of course, portion and calorie control. When the package is empty, it's finished. So you can't underreport here at the end of the day. You accurately know what you consumed. And by the way, about 80% of the population underreports, and 70% of the population underreport their calorie intake, and 70% of the population is overweight. So you can do the math on that one. Also, for weight control, you got higher protein to calorie ratio, which offers that appetite support. You got protein and carbs. Without the carbs, you end up craving carbs. So you've got to have that little balance in there. That's why the legal definition of a meal replacement includes carbs. And of course, you can protect the lean body mass while conveniently and economically contributing to the protein that you need a day, which is 1 gram per pound of lean body mass. You got to have that no matter what. This is an inexpensive way of getting that done. And then weight gain. The hardest thing for all of you that have been athletes in the off season when you're trying to gain muscle and gain weight, the hardest thing to do is eat that much food. And bars can easily make it easy to kind of swallow and eat that food to gain the necessary weight gain. All right. And then the other one, on the run. It's faster. I always like to call it faster than fast food. The problem with missing meals, which happens to everybody, you make a bad choice when food's finally available. Or worse, it drives you to eating high calorie, low volume snacking. So chips, candies, all the things, whatever's available to you, you're going to grab to get that satisfaction quick when you're really hungry. But if you always have your bar available, you not only avoid the inappropriate snacking, but also supplies you with needed macronutrients. Eating a snack is a hold me over, right? A satiety contribution, so you kind of fill up, will greatly reduce your chances of overeating at the next meal. And then, this is the big one, for me, it always was. My kids grew up on it. I know that, Cassie here, Berlinda's, I know her boys growing up on it now. I mean, it's like, all of us, our kids grew up on these. And listen, I don't want to deprive kids of snacks. I don't, the snacks that they like are what parents, parents always want to make their kids happy, and that's okay. I get it. I don't deprive my kids of anything. I just tell them you got to have what you need before you get what you want, all the way around. And that just kind of worked out in the big picture, for all of us. But anytime, this is a way of helping to create better habits that will stick with them later on in life. You haven't deprived them of anything, but it's a healthier kid's snack. And it help reduce that standard everywhere, poor health snack choices that kids have. So it's an easy way to sort of introduce that, and they like it. I mean, we have a 49 person from all races in our cultures, right? And all age groups. And if the kids in the focus group, when they smile and they like it, and we're talking about 6-year-old, 5-year-olds, if they smile and they like it, we know we hit a home run. Easy to satisfy adults because they know it's supposed to be healthy, so they think it tastes better than it does. Okay. But when it comes to kids, they nail it. And that's why our bars really are. By the way, we outsell, and you should do the math in your place. We outsell all the other bars that our clubs carry a variety. I mean, you should outsell them 7-1. And that should tell you something right there. And then the last thing on this list here, as far as the uses of these things, delicious, healthy dessert. And I'm sure some of you have already figured this out. At the end of the night, everybody's got a sweet tooth, right? I'm not saying everybody, but it's very common to have a sweet tooth no matter how much you ate. Even after Thanksgiving dinner, when you shouldn't eat anything, you're still going to have the pies and so forth. And you got to nail that sweet tooth. Well, these things can get that done with a lot less calories and a higher protein to calorie ratio. So you end up with a little bit more satiety and kind of held over for the next day as well. And you just stick in the microwave, zap them for like 8 seconds or so. It's pretty cool. And you can put them over like a frozen yogurt that has no fat in it and then mix it in that, to die for, and hardly any calories and a great dessert. Lots of protein. All right. So here's our little update. Ready? Fitness fast foods, fast fitness foods. So this is the new lineup all the way around here. So you've got these. Now this is what we call the lower calorie high protein. So they're all 15 grams of protein, but they're less than 160. In fact, almost all 150 and 140. But there is a 160. I think the peanut butter is 160. Yeah. So these are these 6 bars right here. And I'll show you the sellers in a minute. These are the slightly higher calorie, and not much. Some of them are, like 180, 190, but there's a couple that are 200. And of course, the wafer bars, and vanilla wafer is one of the very top sellers. It's 240 calories, but those are pretty cool all the way around. But anyway, these are the ones that are slightly higher, but still high protein, and they're all meal replacements. And then this is the last one that we're just waiting for, which should be out. It should be like next month or so. And that is they're just make this for me. I mean, I don't care if we don't even sell any. It'll just be obviously my bar, the mega triple, because I am a chocoholic, triple chocolate high protein cookie. Only 160 calories and 15 grams of protein. That's the home run. And I'll show you the numbers from our focus groups in a minute. Now, the only reason I put the top sellers in here, and this is for whoever orders from your group. A lot of our clubs don't have that much space, so you want to know what the top sellers are. And then if you're also giving presents out to people you can kind of pick the ones out here. These are the most popular. However, if you go from this one here, the peanut butter crisp bar just holds that top position now for so long. Now the fudge graham has been challenging it since it came out, so it might push it. Who knows? But the bottom line is all the way to here, they're almost equal. So, and they're going to start bouncing back and forth all the way to actually right to here. The chocolate wafers probably, and then the peanut butter, it doesn't fall off much, but these are here and these are neck and neck, and they kind of move back and forth into things. Now you can't count the trail mix. That's the brand new bar. And if you haven't had that, you better try it, because that's probably going to take, based on the feedback we've got, it's probably going to take #1 spot for quite a while. And it is to die for. So I haven't been able to get off that one yet. I use that between that and the fudge graham are my top 2 all the way around. But this is the new lineup. And the reason I put this, so if you're going to order only 6 for your clubs, then you would do these 6, let's just say, but you got to be ready for the new ones when they come out. And again, hopefully you can carry them all, but we know that the space is limited in many of our clubs. All right. Now, and plus, if you're going to give somebody something or suggest something, then you're always going to be safe at the top. Any way you look at it. All right, so practitioner notes. So let's get into the FAQs on these things, because you get, as you know, I mean, we have all our staff of trainers. They aren't supposed to know everything about nutrition. In fact, they know very little about nutrition. That's not a bad thing. They know a lot about training, a lot about assessments, but they're just not quite there when it comes to nutrition. So they pick up information on the internet. Sadly, it's because it's just there. and they pick it up from their friends or their next door neighbor or someone else that they think knows a lot about nutrition, and they hear things. So let's just make sure that you guys have the facts. And that's what my job is, obviously. And the scientists we work with, our job is to give people the facts. Because I always say, everybody's entitled to their own opinion, but nobody's entitled to their own facts. So let's just get the facts right when it comes to things. So this is not something uncommon. And we don't hear it so much anymore, but you did back in the day, even up to like 5 years ago, you would hear it. People would ask this question: why do some of your bars contain soy? And these are usually people that read muscle magazines, or fitness magazines, but not the fitness magazines that are evidence-based, but fitness magazines that maybe just promoting nothing but a whey protein or something like that. Bottom line is, again, not all our bars do, and none of our bars contain only soy, or maybe one or two might only soy, but not soy protein. Well, here's the answers. Okay, so there's really two parts to this. First, which is obviously the main reason, soy is a unique, healthy source of protein. Okay, so you have fish, you have chicken, you have poultry, you have beef. Okay, you have dairy, like whey, okay? And soy is another protein that has other very unique properties to it, just like the other ones have unique properties. So when you add that as part of your daily protein intake, wow, you've got health benefits that go beyond the other proteins you're eating. And this is remember this, there are no claims that you can make from a health standpoint for any other protein except soy. The FDA, they don't allow anything, and they allow these health claims because of soy, because we know that from studying cultures that eat predominantly soy. So these are authorized health claims for soy protein, which always bewildered me how anybody thought that soy might be a problem or bad or something. It's always comical. But to yield a healthy heart benefit, 6.25 grams of soy protein per serving allows the product to make the claim that soy can lower heart disease. Can't make that claim with whey. Can't make that claim with beef. Can't make that claim with chicken when consumed as part of a healthy diet. So obviously you can't just eat like crap and eat soy and then think it's going to do it. Soy can also lower, these are health claims, legal health claims. Soy can lower blood pressure. We don't even have those things on supplements, and may work in other ways to benefit blood vessels in the heart. And according to Japanese, these are word for word, by the way. According to Japanese research, women who consume a lot of soy, which obviously is their primary source of protein, have greater bone mass and lower occurrences of hip fractures than American women. So daily soy intake may help prevent and slow osteoporosis, which is the number 3 killer that we have today. Second, now this is from the manufacturers directly, the biggest manufacturers in the world that make powders, and they make bars. Second, soy's mixing, taste, and texture qualities. This is what makes the bar special. Allow better mixing, taste, and texture. And these are the benefits. Pro Amino is where we get about half of our bars, or a third of our bars. About half our bars come from Pro Amino. It's the biggest manufacturer in the world, and they're in Canada. And this is right from their scientists. Soy protein is great for food products because its functional properties, hydrating capacity, rehydration, solubility, dispersibility, controlled stable gelatin, emulsification, coagulation. Just all of these things here. These are scientists, right? Taste and texture, not to mention the health benefits. And most of the top selling bars that they make contain soy proteins. dotFIT bars use predominantly soy proteins are our crisp bars. So those are the only ones they use predominantly. And they are allowed the health claims you just looked at. The other ones aren't, because we don't use enough soy for the 6.25 grams in them of soy to make the health claims, but it's still contributing. If you're having 2 of them, you'll get there. But anyway, I just want, the whole idea is to put that to bed, so you don't have to worry about that when you've got someone that's reading magazines or something. And the wafer bars, if you don't want any soy at all because you're allergic to a soy protein or something, then you would just go with the wafer bars. All right, so and again, I wanted to put this in here. This is from Harvard School of Public Health, probably unarguably the #1 school in the world when it comes to health. This is all, by the way, these studies are all hot linked. So just make sure that if you have to check anything, fact check anything, you know me, I lecture in the scientific community, so I have to reference everything. You just can't make shit up like, other people do. But this is again, word for word, and all the scientific references, you can click on those and get it. Results of recent population studies suggest soy has either a beneficial effect or a neutral effect on various health conditions. Soy is a nutrient-dense source of protein that can be safely consumed several times a week and probably more, and is likely to provide health benefits, especially when you're eating an alternative to, a processed meat, obviously. So pretty simple all the way around. And I just put the rest of them in here. So again, for all of us to incorporate, a bar or so, or a couple of bars a day would be only beneficial from a health standpoint for anybody. I don't care who it is. That includes athletes, as soy protein consumption delivers many known health benefits, including anti-inflammation, antioxidant, what we call immunomodulatory, so it stimulates the immune system, hypolipidemic, anti-hypertensive, and skin. The genistein is the component that in soy that is not in any other protein you eat, and that has a positive effect in protecting the skin from photo aging. And then you have the cholesterol lowering effects, which are natural. And there's 5 brand new 2022 studies that support all of that. Very few people have soy allergies. That people tell you have a soy allergy, that much more people have an allergy to dairy, in whey and casein. So here are the facts on that. So dairy, 2 to 4% of infants have dairy allergies, and about 5% of adults. I'm sorry, 0.5, 0.5% of adults. Nut, fish, and wheat, which actually are more severe allergies, obviously, have the same. Many more people have that. Soy protein, and again, does not. And of course, the reactions are much more severe in all of these here. There's almost hardly any reactions to it. And there's the big one. And I think this is how it got into our world years ago when people started bringing it up. Soy protein does not lower testosterone, like you might see somewhere, or negatively affect estrogen. So the most updated expanded meta-analysis, which is right this year, indicates that regardless of how much soy you eat daily, and the duration of the study, so how if they study people for 10 years or 5 years or 1 year, neither soy protein nor the isoflavones that are part of soy protein affects your testosterone level, free testosterone, estrogen, and estrogen 1 levels in men. So again, it was just sort of comical the way these things got started. And by the way, so the most obvious to all of us, populations that consume soy protein multiple times a day, multiple times daily, live longer and better than us. For those of you that don't know, we have the shortest lifespan of any peer nation. There's 50 nations that are in peer group. Obviously us, United Kingdom, France, Germany, Japan, these nations that are developed. We have the lowest lifespan of any nation. It's 76 years on average, right? Women live 2 years longer than men. Okay. Now, Japan, and we have the highest healthcare bill. Highest. That's $13,000 a year per person in our country. Japan has the highest lifespan and the lowest healthcare. That tells you big pharma is obviously screwing us up. And of course, Japan eats predominantly soy. So there's we know all those things are just easy to look around and see that. So they live longer and better than populations that consume our diet with no soy. And by the way, 50 grams of soy isoflavone supplementation can be considered as complementary treatment to women with migraines. This is a brand new study, and improve migraine characteristics and the symptoms of menopause. You see soy isoflavones in menopause supplements all the time. So, and not only that, at the end of the day, no one's eating predominantly soy in our Western societies as a sole source. So therefore, it'd only be a great addition to whatever else you're eating to get some of these other benefits that we just looked at. Okay, and don't forget, by the way, don't confuse soy lecithin, like in protein powder. Our protein powders don't contain any soy at all, but we have soy lecithin, like every powder does, but that's not a protein. And it's infinitesimal, it doesn't do anything, it doesn't cause allergies or anything. That's just in there. So just keep that in mind. So I just want you guys to have that so you feel good. So on that note, what kind of protein is it? So I put every one of them in here. Listen, just be very clear here. Your customers don't care. They don't. If you do, well, that's your issue. You can just kind of look in here and find out what you want and get what you want. But these aren't things that anybody's going to ask you about. You might get a one-off here and there, and that's about it. But I just want you guys to have that. So they're the ones that are pretty much all soy, right? There are some other ones, but that you can see it's just spread out differently. These are the newer ones here now. where you've got this. And now collagen's a big addition now. They're adding collagen protein to most of ours. You got this much whey protein, this much soy. And then, of course, obviously the vegan is going to be all vegetable protein here, mostly pea. And then these are all whey and milk, dairy. Those are there. And then over here, the new triple one here, this one's like almost half of the protein will be collagen. But the fact that you add whey, that completes the collagen, because collagen is not a complete protein. But when you add whey, it completes it, and you add the egg whites, and now you have the full gamut of the 20 amino acids. The trail mix bars here, there, and then you got the fudge graham and the double chocolate caramel. So you can see it spread out very nicely. And that's what makes the taste so good, by the way, all the way around. And it completes the protein, so it's 100% protein all the way around. Another one here, do any bars have, do you have bars more than such a, with more protein, such as 25 grams? This isn't a popular question anymore. I think people kind of figured this one out of their own. You can always eat more than one. An extra half will get you there easily. 15, plus another 8, you'll get there to achieve the amount you desire. And then you can just save the other half if you want. But the problem is larger amounts of protein in a single bar, they just don't sell well. You guys know we made a 30-gram protein bar for a few years, but we ended up expiring them before we sell them all. They're just not very popular. So just take 2 and put them together and eat it if you're on a weight gain program or something. Or you can just buy 2 and then you save a half, and then you have another half with the other one, any other time. So the bottom line is, not only that, the more protein you have, the more sweeteners you got to put in there to hide the protein taste. All right. Another big question, what are sugar alcohols? Now, we have plenty of bars without sugar alcohols if someone is allergic to them, but that's still unusual because I got the numbers here for you. What they do is they obviously help sweeten with lower calories, and they lessen the insulin response. So for diabetics, these are really important sweeteners all the way around. And now that we got about 60% of the population that's type 2 diabetic, it's a really good idea to reduce the sugar spikes. But sugar alcohols, that's the name of the, it's not an alcohol, obviously. It's just the structural name, or because of the molecules, the way the carbon atoms line up, they call that an alcohol molecule, but it has something to do with alcohol, obviously. Carbohydrates are considered a nutritive sweetener. They do contain some calories, but less than half the calories that sugar does. And that way you get more sweetness for much less calories. So that's really important all the way around. And you've seen some of the ones here. They can be, they're natural. They're found in your fruits that you eat and vegetables, but you can also make them. All right. And they're used and labeled as sugar-free, right? When you see reduced sugar or sugar-free, they're using sugar alcohols. And these are the examples of the names: lactol, erythritol, maltitol, mannitol. And by the way, these are in baby formulas. These are the sugar alcohols in baby formulas. They're more than safe. There's nothing at all. But moderate doses, 10 to 20 grams a day, which would be, God, I don't know, but 6 bars a day, 7, 8 bars a day, are generally, no one has a problem with them. The higher doses consuming some people, particularly sorbitol or mannitol, can cause stomach upset. I actually have one of my staff here, can only eat the wafer bars and then the peanut butter and jelly. And then there's another one out there that no sugar alcohols, or a couple of them now, or a few others that don't have sugar alcohols. That's the one they can eat. But there are some people that can't have sugar alcohols. And then, so why are dotFIT bars okay for diabetics? I think you guys can answer that now, as we talked about it. If you manage your insulin correctly, any of our bars are good. It doesn't matter if you use sugar alcohols or not. They should be fine between meal snacks. Some of the bar sweeteners and the sugar alcohols will make managing insulin easier. So there's your answer for that one. And finally, what's the science behind selling dotFIT nutrition bars? Well, I'm going to clear that up. The science is, what's the science behind eating food? Lower calorie, high protein. Nothing more than that. Our bars are food products. Other bars out there are not food products. They're actually fall in the world of dietary supplements because they spike them with vitamins and minerals or herbs. They put something else in there to help sell the bar, right? Well, we don't, because we know you're taking a multivitamin mineral. So we don't want to add to that. And then we don't want to add to what you might be getting in your other diet or your medications. So it's a food product with the protein, carbs, and fat at the right number for you and the right calories. So ours are food products. So it adds to their daily food protein intake to assist in reaching and maintaining fitness goals, including the use of great tasting, high protein, low calorie. So that's it, nothing more than that. And these are all the reasons. I'm not going to go through them again. We already went, this is all our very first slide. This is how they are used. So they answer the question, this is how they're used. And remember, ours are food products. And that's big. That's why kids, I don't care how old they are, they can have them. You can't do what other bars out there, you can't. You look at the ingredients on their bars, they got something in there that they're trying to sell. And if you look at our expanded focus groups, I just talked about we have about 49. Actually, it's a little more now. We just added another family group. At the end of the day, for General Health Club member, here's what sells. It's about taste first, price second, so it's got to be priced equally, and convenience, in the protein to calorie ratio of less than or equal to 200. They fall in love with that, and 12 to 15 grams of protein. That's what drives your repeat buys. The rest of the stuff doesn't matter. That's what it comes down to. But I always like to tell people, hey, listen, our bars are food. You want to buy a spiked bar that's got other stuff in it that could interfere with your medications and things like that, that's on you. But our bars are food, and they match with anything else you're taking with dotFIT. And I put that in here. So what makes dotFIT bars special? I think you guys already figured that out. And there's the one word, synergy. Someone write that down. Synergy. That's what makes it. So again, taste, convenience, price, and numbers that we just saw are the primary drivers of continued sales. We already got that. But the bonus with us is this. They complement your food intake because they're food products. So again, that's that thing that we just looked at. So all we do is extract what naturally occurs in that food matrix, and that won't interfere with nutrition, your other nutrition, or medication intake. We don't spike our bars with extra vitamins and minerals or herbs, because using dotFIT bars allows people to consume whatever supplements they're consuming, whatever fortified foods they're consuming, whatever medications, without unknowingly crossing an upper limit them or cause an adverse reaction. So it's a food product. It's like going to the store and getting chicken or something, except that it's just better all the way around and less expensive, especially today in the inflationary times. So anyway, this is it. I put an example down here for you. And I always love this one. I do this in my lectures, and I may have a whole bunch of doctors out there that, use bars, or they're taking a multi or something. And I always say, if you're taking multiple products, like a multivitamin, a separate calcium supplement, antioxidant formula, which so many people do and professionals do, and protein shakes, or any combination, unknowingly, you're getting too much of certain nutrients, since many of these products have the same added ingredients or cofactors. And now you consume a bar that also has added vitamins and minerals, and no one's adding up all these ingredients on the labels. I never seen anybody do that in my life. You now have a potential nutrition or medication adverse reaction brewing. So keep that in mind. And don't forget, we have very tight windows for safety and efficacy when it comes to minerals. Too much iron is really bad for you. Too little iron is really bad for you. Too much zinc is really bad for you. Too little zinc is really bad for you. And I can go on and on for so many other things. So you'll never have to worry about that with our bars or any of that stuff. All right, so let's shut it down with this part here. High protein bar presentations, right? Boom. These are now from again. It's too bad Eve isn't on the call, because I know she was just in your clubs the other day, and it's this is for her. Anytime she worked with clients, I mean, no one ever leaves without 3 boxes of bars on their first personal training appointment. And on a fitness assessment, when they came in, and if they didn't buy personal training, they're going to walk away with 3 boxes of bars. So, get your box of bars for your oh shoot moments when you're hungry without an option for a meal. Keep some in your desk in your car. Be careful of the car, by the way, on a hot summer day. That doesn't work too well. Backpack and some at home. So I'm never in a situation of being hungry and messing up my nutrition with a quick fix. It's perfect to hold you over your next meal. I love warming, and this is a good one. You're just plug in your favorite bar for about 10 seconds for a quick breakfast. Vanilla wafer bar helps my sweet tooth. And then calling out the different ones. Peanut butter crisp is great for a light snack, low calories, absolutely delicious. If you have a box in your car, work home, it's kind of the same thing here. You can eat it in 2 minutes, right? 15 grams of protein, 15 grams of carbs. Let's add a handful of nuts and some fats. You can eat it in less than 2 minutes, faster than fast food. And then call out some things. Do you like Rice Krispie treats? Do you like peanut butter? And then, here's what we got. And you can kind of call those out at the same time. And just, again, some great one-liners from top trainers out there that no one leaves. Whoever that was that we just recognized for everybody gets boxes of bars. You probably have your own, and you should contribute to this little sayings here. So how do you get people to buy a box of bar all the time? I'd love to hear that at the end of this. And then here's another one. I eat 1 or 2 a day. Life is busy, and there's no excuse for me not to eat. So especially when I'm very busy in our jam, I grab a bar. I get 3 different flavors, make up a variety pack. A lot of our club trainers will do that. most of our trainers, obviously vast majority of them don't pay for any supplements because they get their Fit Pro rewards and they order boxes of bars and they give them out as samples to their clients. And at nighttime, something quick and easy to grab to satisfy the sweet tooth at night, have a cup of tea and go to bed. And then build them into their meal plans. And I think I put an example of that in there. So yeah, I think I'll show you that in just a second. But the bottom line is, this is really what we're into now. Like I said, you guys are like a month, a little bit. We just started it with a couple of our big groups of what we call the Fast Fitness Food Campaign right before the holidays. It works out perfect, for the 21st century lifestyle, and also to be able to save calories for the big events and so forth. And this is just some things that we're doing on it. So I put this in here for you. Like I said, promo materials and so forth that we have. So here's a weight loss menu with dotFIT bars. You got your breakfast, your bar, right? Add some almonds, a little almond milk if you want, and an apple. Lunch, whatever you like for lunch. It's got your protein, your veggies, or whatever you want to wrap or something. And you take your afternoon snack as that. And then dinner, you've got whatever your protein, your favorite protein, along with your favorite carb, and and vegetables. So there's a weight loss with your dotFIT bars there. Now, with that said, watch this. So I put it in here. I'm glad I did this. You'll love this. So, for all of you that ever competed before, almost everybody, but even still today, we work with so many still. And of course, I competed for all those years. We do a 3-day low, 1-day high, as you get to the last weeks of it all. Right. And then here's how you use it for your average person. That's not obviously not competing at a show, to save calories and still lose weight for holidays. So here's an example. Your average client in your gym is probably only burning 2,000 calories a day. That includes their workout. That includes everything they're doing, 2,000 calories a day. Now, the formula to lose 1.5 pounds a week is this. Low days are 1,200, your high day be 25, and you will lose 1.5 pounds a week. But what they would do, now, of course, they're not bodybuilders, but what they would do, they would plan this for their cheat day. So that cheat day could be way higher than that, and they will not gain a single pound. Otherwise, they will. All right, so here's an example. On the low days, 3 days low, they'd have 3 or 4 meals. So you have 2 or 3 shakes and one or 2 large meals. Now, the reason this is red, if you do it like most people will do, they'll take 3 shakes during the day, 1 large meal. And so that would be only 200 calorie shakes. So like Lena Mar, you'd have 2 of those shakes right there, two of those, and then you'd have a 600 calorie meal. Right? If you're going to do just the two shakes, then you got 400, and you've got 2 400 calorie meals. So again, that's the low day. And here's an example of that. 200 calories there. And then you would only use your amino formula for your pre-post. So you wouldn't be using your protein powder for the pre-post. You still have that, but you'd use only amino formula there. Now watch. On the high day, there are 5 meals, 3 food meals and 2 shakes. And that would look like this, right? So you got 190 grams of protein, 40 grams of fiber. And then your meals 2 and 4 here and here are your shakes. And breakfast is fortified with more protein. So you take your oatmeal and you add protein powder to it. And now you get that big number there. So there's your high day. Now watch this. Here's your cheat day coming up. Now again, that's how you would lose 1.5 pounds a week continually, forever, all the way up until whatever you want. But here's what you do for the average person you're working with. They might be losing this if they want to do whatever, but forget that. Their cheat day, they now have 2,400 calories in the bank from being low, because they've already planned that out. They're going to go 3 days low, and then they're going to have their big event day. You add that on top of your 2,000 calorie maintenance that you have no matter what, you've got 4,500 calories they can eat on their cheat day with 0 weight gain. That's pretty cool. And none of this includes moving more than their normal day. If they added any activities, not necessarily workout time, because they don't, they actually miss workouts during that time. We know that people are not as consistent during the November and December because of the holiday season, but they would just add steps to their day, which is done anyway, pretty much 30 to 50%. And now you've got about 5,000 to 6,000 calories in the bank on your cheat day. Pretty crazy, huh? But it's fun, because when you really understand how the human body works, these are all facts, and this is how it works. And when you just talk out to your client, that endears them to you forever. And by the way, on their cheat day, make sure they load up on Carb Repel. So that way they can probably eat 6,000 calories, but only absorb 4,500 of them on the carb, on those. That's the cheat day. So here's like a weight loss menu. We're using Lean MR twice a day. So there's your protein shake in the morning. We have great recipes, by the way, for all this. There's your lunch, just whatever you like, protein and your fruits and vegetables. There's your second shake. And then at dinner, protein and your favorite carbs and veggies are there as well. And now these are all on the website. I know you guys should know that we have every menu from 1,000 calories a day, believe it or not, all the way to 4,000 and 250 calorie increments of any kind of diet you want, whether it's vegan, whether it's gluten-free, whether it's 40, 30, 30, which is the most common for weight loss. That's what these are here. So under 190, this shows you 1,500 calories with 2 shakes built into them. Here's 2,000 calories with 2 shakes. If they're over 190, they can have this much and lose weight very rapidly all the way around. So I just put those in there. And then muscle gain, right? With Way Smooth and dotFIT, we have some really cool menus up there. And wait till you see, imagine this right before you go to bed. That's what we have with kids that are growing and going through all they're in puberty at this particular point, and they just put on as much size and height as they can. We make sure their last meal is a giant shake right before they go to bed. Usually first string. We just have to put Way Smooth in here because they're adults. But growing kids, we always use first string on that. And you end up with a 1,000-calorie shake before you go to bed. And that's just working while you're sleeping. That's why when you say, well, you talk about kids growing an inch overnight, you'd be surprised how that works. All right, so we have expanded our recipe section for that fast fitness food campaign we're doing, and any powder can become a meal replacement. Just keep that in mind. We were just, we talked about you just grab any of these and you'll end up with hundreds of recipes, baking, drink recipes, protein snack recipes. They're all up there, loaded up. So make sure you take advantage of that. And hey, here it is. I put the bars in here. Holiday gifts to get a head start on the #1 New Year's resolution. What is that? I'm going to get in shape this year. #1 New Year's resolution. Well, what's wrong with packaging up these bars? Just like we talk, holiday box are your favorite bars, Mr. and Mrs. Jones, that satisfies your sweet tooth while controlling calories and body fat versus just saying. So, and I don't want to deprive anybody from that stuff because I'm a chocoholic, but this will work really well. And we're talking about a great gift because if you're giving it around Christmas time, it's a great head start for the New Year's resolution. That's what you're there, because now you've got your food products that will help you get there faster. All right, so your collaterals, you guys know where all this is. Just go on there, and these are all the new bars. Make sure use this in your social media. These are all the new bars that have come out. Make sure you just click on there. These are all live links. Click on. We sent a separate thing, Andrea, to your marketing department. Well, I mean, we sent it all out there. I don't know where it goes after Kat sends it to everybody, but your marketing department should have it. So you put this on your social media, put it on your website, new bars at Gold's Gym. Click on here because you can put your logo on all these as well. And at least you're advertising it there, and they'll come in the gym and find them there. So make sure you take advantage of all of these great. Listen, and I'm saying it because I spend millions of dollars every year on marketing on these new materials for you, including the 1-minute videos on everything that we have. So make sure you utilize them. Okay, and there you go. Just want you to have that. All right, we're good. I put this all back at the end here because of the fast fitness food thing. You guys already had this in your protein lecture. I gave it to you, but I put them in here because when you're working with trainers and you're doing the fast fitness food things, these are all the same thing. These are all the things that are part of it. So it's not just bars, powders are part of the fast fitness food campaign. I just want to make sure you had it all in one place, so you don't have to open up 3 different presentations to get the one-liners for all your fast fitness foods.